Good morning, good afternoon, or good night from whenever and wherever you are watching us. I am Cameron Scandal. That is Steven Treffler. We are the sound. Thank you so much for joining us here, folks. I'm just going to tell you something. This is going to be a good show. We have some great stuff in store. We have our final installment of our NFL Division Ranking Series, the hardest division that we've done yet. We have an excellent soundbite. We had the third installment of Who Is That? And we're just going to have a great time. Steve, are you ready to get into this share our knowledge with the sports world? Let's just get right into it. Per usual, and for one final time this NFL offseason, we are going to continue our NFL Division Ranking Series. We are going into the AFC East. By far, probably the best division in the National Football League. A lot of tough decisions, a lot of good teams. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Number 4, the New England Patriots. 8-9 last season, the 26th ranked offense, but the 8th best defense. And look, the Patriots, I think we said before when we talked about DeAndre Hopkins going there, they're unfortunately just a bad team. We talked about him maybe making that better, but they're a bad team with a good defense and really nothing more than that. I expect nothing more out of them this season than I did last season. I think the addition of Zeke is either good or bad, depending on how you look at it. Is it good or bad for Mac Jones really is my question, because the good part of it for Mac Jones is like, hey, listen, we know that you're not the greatest, so to take some of that pressure off of you to help win us games and help get us to the playoffs, just hand it off to Zeke. Like, it's okay, we have him now. But then it could also be bad, because is that saying, yo, Mac, we don't want you throwing the ball, hand it off to Zeke, like, let that man do it. Don't you be throwing it away. But like I said, I expect them to kind of go the same way they did last year, and they are the 4th best team in this division.
I think what we're about to see is the fall off of Bill Belichick. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but it's coming to a time where he might need to think about starting to step aside or step into more of a leadership role within the organization. Because I don't think he'll ever step away from football completely. But the Patriots at 4 is the only thing that I see here. But now remember, you said this was the toughest conference. At like week 14 or 15 last week, every team in this division was in the playoffs.
So moving on to number 3, maybe a hot take for some people. The New York Jets. Whoa.
Yeah.
7-10 last season. The 25th ranked offense, the 4th ranked defense. Look, Aaron Rodgers is bad. All right. We have never seen a worse Aaron Rodgers than perhaps that we did last season. What we know about Aaron Rodgers and what Aaron Rodgers is known for is shying away when the lights are brightest and failing when it matters most. You have a team in the New York Jets where they have been bad for a long time. A long time. They have not had a 10-win season since 2015. They are the star of Hard Knocks this season. We've talked about how good the young defense is and how Rodgers is hooking up with these young guys on the team, that the vibes are great. They're bringing in Rodgers receivers. He wanted Nathaniel Hackett. He got it. There's a lot going on in New York. And when there's high expectations for Aaron Rodgers, he crumbles. I do not expect Aaron Rodgers to have this huge resurgence and lead this team to greatness. They are the 3rd best team in this division, and that is just that.
I think the Jets are very sneaky. I think that it depends what version of Rodgers we get. If we get the one we've had for the last 2 seasons, or last season and playoffs, the season before, I'm not worried. But they've added Dalvin Cook. They've added, Breece Hall is back off of injury. And before he went on injury, he was pretty good. But it comes down to the quarterback position. I think that the Jets clearly deserve to be at number 3. But they could finish at 2.
They have the roster. If you just look at it on paper, they should be a good team. Obviously, yeah, it is on what version they're going to get. But I'm pretty confident they're not going to get that version of Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that version of Aaron Rodgers in this type of an environment exists.
It's gone.
It's never happened. They're the 3rd team in this division, which brings us to the number 2 spot, and that is the Miami Dolphins. And I would just like to say that Steve and I have talked about the Dolphins many a time, over the past few months about different things, obviously being his team. I have been very cautious and very kind of weary of Miami's success, and they are probably the biggest team, or the team with the biggest health questions. When Tua is healthy, and I've done some research today, everyone has so far said that he's going to be the week 1 starter. He's making great strides. Mike McDaniel said some weird, it sounded like he was having a stroke at the podium. I don't know if you saw him talking about Tua's health.
I can say hard facts that I've seen with my own eyes. It's top 5 on the team in terms of, we've had a lot of guys really step their game up. He was already invested before this year, but then, taking a bunch of things that have happened, he really put an onus on controlling what he could control.
But when Tua is healthy, in the 13 games Tua played last season, he is 65% completion rating. He is 25-8 from a touchdown interception ratio, and he's 105.5 QBR. That's pretty solid numbers, and my thing has been it's a small sample size, and that's still true. Their overwhelming talent, I think, is just too much. And Steve, you made this point to me the other day that their backups aren't great, but they got into the playoffs last year with Skylar Thompson with a roster that is probably worse last year than it is now. I'm not a huge Mike McDaniels guy. I think he's weird and a little sketchy. I don't know how he runs a football team, but the guys love him. You hear no bad words about him. They buy into the system, and I think with all of that good energy, the positivity from Tua's end, and like I said, I just think from top to bottom, they're one of the 5 most talented rosters in the league, and on that alone, I think they'll stay afloat and be the number 2 team in this division.
Adding Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, bringing in Bradley Chubb, Jalen Ramsey, and then just having Tua have an entire offseason to work. And listen, in our first playoff game last year, we lost to the Bills by 3 points on a last-second field goal. And you know what? I think our roster, like you said, I think we're better this year than we were last year. So who knows? If we don't draw the Bills in the first round, maybe we can get out of the first round for the first time since, 2005. But
yeah,
Dolphins are second in this division, and I'm glad we've reached a consensus on that.
And obviously, with the number 1 spot in this division, it's the Buffalo Bills. 13-3 last year, losing 27-10 to Cincinnati in the divisional round. The second best offense and the 6th best defense. And here's what I'll say, Steve. I did a lot of research today for this division because I knew how hard it was going to be. I watched a lot of different videos to hear what other people were kind of thinking, did some of my own research, formulated my own thoughts. And what I found myself doing is what I found once I caught me doing it, I caught some other people on sports doing it and sports television and stuff doing it too. I was looking for a reason to doubt Buffalo. I was looking for holes to be like, well, they can't still be that good. They've had to do something wrong. Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback. No ifs, ands, or buts. Is he inconsistent? Sure. Is he? Does that take away from what he can do for your team and lead you to a high seed in the playoffs? Absolutely not. Stephon Diggs has had a lot of back and forth with the Bills and Josh Allen, and if he wants to come back, wants to stay, he's put that to bed. He's like, that's not true. We got no issues. I'm good. Von Miller's health was in question about whether he's going to come back for the defense. He's set to come back in September. There's been no issues with his health so far. I just couldn't find anything. I still think the Bills are really good. I think they're a really good offense. They're still going to be a good defense. And I don't have any reason to suspect why any of the 3 teams below them would be better than them this season. Like I said, I was trying to find something, and I just couldn't. So I got them still sitting at the top of this division at number 1.
Josh, the Bills are number 1 in this division easily. And I just feel bad for Josh Allen sometimes because I don't think a lot of this is his fault, but that's football. That's sports. There's a reason DeMar DeRozan and the Raptors never made it to the NBA Finals is because he ran into LeBron every year. So sometimes you just run into guys who just have your number, and both of those guys have Josh Allen's number. So
yeah. So that's our AFC East. To run it back for you, we got the Bills at number 1, the Dolphins at number 2, the Jets at number 3, and the Patriots at number 4. That is our AFC East. I've seen a lot of different videos today about doing segments like this. Like, we were the originals. Yeah, we were the first. Like, we're just finishing this up, and people are just starting it. So always remember, folks, that the sound was here first, and we are here for you, and we will always be here for you. But yeah, that is our AFC East, and this has been our NFL Division Ranking Series. Hope you've enjoyed. Maybe we'll do something like this again in the future, but until next time. Moving on to our next segment, it is Soundbite. Everyone's favorite segment, and in case you forget what that is, I'm going to tell you one more time. Soundbite is where Steve and I react to different clips of people doing some things, players saying stuff in a post-game interview, a podcast, whatever the case may be. Someone says something we want to take a listen to, we listen. So today's soundbite is a rather dangerous situation coming out of the MLB. Fans charging onto the field and being tackled, and it's just not a good look for the league at large. So let's take a look at that. So there you have it. Those two fans, Steve, you said they were charged. Was that today that they brought? And what did they get charged with?
They were charged with trespassing and disturbing the peace.
This is, like I said, very scary stuff. This is a very dangerous situation. There's a lot of moving pieces to it. Steve, you wanted to go first, so the floor is yours, my friend. Take it away.
Ronald Acuña Jr. is considered to be probably a superstar in the MLB. I mean, he's batting .335 right now, which is 4th in the MLB. He's got 29 home runs, which is tied for 12th, and he's 5th in OPS. How is there no police? How is there no security on the perimeter to chase and stop these guys? And it looked like the people that ran out there weren't even security to begin with. They were just random staffers that the ballpark went around and said, hey, if you see anyone run on the field, chase your happy ass out there and pick them up. Allowing one is bad, but then allowing a second who came in like 30 seconds after the first initial encounter and got more physical, this is just not a good look for Major League Baseball. It's not a good look for sports. And athletes quite frequently have said that they don't like fan engagement, certain things in different sports. And so I'm interested to see, what some baseball players around the league are going to come out and say about this, because player safety has to be kept at an all-time high.
It's not great. Those guys should have never been able to get that close or get onto the field in the first place. And I just kind of want to focus on, like, it's a weird but not situation, because that first fan who was on the field with Acuña Jr., it looked like they were just getting a picture, that, he wasn't trying to do anything. And then the second guy, once the first guy gets tackled by security, the second guy's like, yo, who wants to smoke? And then he also runs up, and that's when the whole disturbance happened. You can even see the first guy, like, he's not really resisting. I think he grabs on to Acuña Jr. because it's like shock, and he's kind of like, what are they going to do if I'm holding on to him? Yeah, like, I think he just, like, didn't know what to do. But then once he gets off of him, he doesn't resist. It's the second guy that causes the issues. And you said this to me when you first showed this to me. What if that guy had a knife? Or, like, What if that guy was crazy and like went up and was acting all cool, and then all of a sudden he turns out to be a crazy person? You see, I feel like MLB people running onto the field is like the number one way fans like cause a ruckus like that. Like you don't see people running on to NFL fields or like NBA courts. It seems like it's always people running on baseball fields, maybe but it must be the easiest. But why? Like, why are they not? Why is it so easy to break into a baseball field?
And I actually have an answer for that. So in basketball, the court's like this big. So surrounding the perimeter of the court is pretty easy.
Yeah.
But in baseball, the fans are literally like around the entire thing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing keeping them in until you're behind the backstop. So like all of these people out here, it's just a fall. That's it.
Yeah, that's one. But then like
fall and
there's got to be but that's why I'm saying that. Why is there not something in place that to stop them from being able to get access to the field? Like I get what you're saying. It's you no way to block it off because of how baseball fields are designed or stadiums are designed. But yeah, I don't know. There's just got to be something. It's not a good look.
I would imagine that in the coming years, the MLB will address this because maybe they didn't need to back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, but today's world, you probably don't want to go to player safety.
Why all of a sudden, like, are fans getting worse and worse? Like, people throwing things at concerts, fans running onto the court or the field and just being silly. Like, I just don't. Why all of a sudden, like, within the last year, are people ramping up 2 years, ramping up the fan engagement?
And then there was that NBA fan who tried to glue herself to the court in protest.
Oh, the protest lady, yeah.
Yeah. So like
people dumping food on Westbrook. That was a couple years ago, though. What? Something else happened recently. I don't remember.
I've got a hot take for you real quick. It's not really a hot take, but it's just something that needs to be said. Fans need to appreciate that the sports that they get to watch is a privilege because those guys don't have to be out there. Sports don't have to be going on. And they could definitely make the game enjoyment and interaction worse by completely blocking you off from it and not allowing you to be. So it's like fans need to understand that it's a privilege to be as close to the players as you can be and not cross that line.
Imagine we pretend that athletes aren't real people. Like, imagine if you were like in the street and some person ran up and started bear hugging you and like trying to that. Athletes as normal people, if they're in these situations with heckling or fans' actions, can handle it a whole different way. But the fact that they have the know-how to act professional and keep their composure, like that's all part of the job. And really, they don't have to do that. No. They can take it a lot of different ways. And I don't think, now they'll probably get fined, but I don't think the public eye would be real negative unless it was like brutal, like you're almost killing someone. But if you're like, shoving, like, I think it would be like, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. No, very well said.
So that was today's soundbite. Make sure if you're at baseball games, you're not running onto the field and bear hugging players for selfies because you will be tackled. There's solid evidence now. So be on the lookout. All right. Our final topic of the day. It is time for everyone's new favorite game show. Who is that? Who is that? Is a game where Steve and I give each other clues to guess the NBA player or NFL player. The less amount of guesses you use, the better your score. Right now, the score is 16-4. I am up. It's been a long road, but Steve, there's still plenty of time to come back. It's not that. You just gotta stump me and get me with a good one. Maybe this will be it that starts the comeback. It is Steve's turn to give me the clues. So, Steve, are you ready to play? Who is that?
Clue number 1.
All right, we're going right in.
10-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 2 rings, and a Hall of Fame. And he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, so he's retired. 10-time All-Star, 2 rings, 2-time All-NBA, you said? And he's retired.
He has 1 top 10 MVP finish.
Is this another clue?
Well, no, yeah. It's
just like you're just telling me? So what? He has 1 top 10 MVP finish? 10-time All-Star, 2 rings, Only 2 All-NBAs. But how can you be a 10-time All-Star but only have 2 All-NBAs? I want to say that his 2 rings, he wasn't a big contributor. But I don't have enough information to verify that yet. He's got to have more than this. But I don't have another guess. No, he couldn't have played. No, I don't want to say that. You know what? I'm going to just say it because I want another clue, and I can't think of anyone better right now. Isaiah Thomas?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Clue number 2.
Yeah.
He played for 4 teams over 18 years.
4 teams. Only 4. 10 times 2 rings. Pau Gasol?
No. He was drafted to the Minnesota Timberwolves in 1996, but traded to the Milwaukee Bucks on draft day.
Oh. Ray Allen.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you said Pau Gasol, I was like, that's actually a good guess.
I thought that was a great guess. Yeah.
It was a great guess.
2. It only took me 2. So it's
the third guess. That was on the third guess.
Oh, you're right. That was my third guess. You're right. So it's
7.
16 to 7. Yeah. 16 to 7. All right. That was a good one. Ray Allen was a good one. I think this is a great game. I truly enjoy the magic that this game brings. And I think the boys and girls at home. Yeah, dude, it's good. And I hope that when we give these clues, people learn a little something. They get a little educated. And like I said, I hope it's entertaining for all you people watching, because I know it's entertaining for us. And we love entertaining you. This has been Who Is That? Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
Did you know that Caitlyn Jenner was drafted in the 1977 NBA draft?
What? What the fuck?
What?
Yep. That was going to be my fun one.
You can't just say those things out loud. What are you talking about?
Google Caitlyn Jenner basketball reference. I'm not kidding.
Is it with a K or a C?
A C.
No. Well, it can't be the same person.
Oh, it is.
Because he would have been drafted as Bruce, right?
Yep, drafted as Bruce, but because she identifies as Caitlyn, they changed the name on Basketball Reference. Drafted in the 1977 NBA draft to the Kansas City Kings.
Formerly known as William Bruce Jenner. No, this can't be the same person.
It is.
Did you look into this?
Yes.
October 28th, 1949. What's the birth date? Oh my God. Oh, no way.
There's your NBA trivia of the day. Caitlyn Jenner was drafted in the 1977 NBA draft.
That's amazing.
That's what I said.
Wow. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, truly.
You are welcome.
I very much enjoy that random piece of information. And that is going to do it for us today. After learning that Caitlyn Jenner was an NBA superstar, it's been a great show. This was a good one. I hope you enjoyed our NFL division ranking series. I hope you enjoyed Who Is That. We're getting ready for the NFL and college football season. We're ready for it, baby. Sports are coming back, and the sound will always be here for you. And always remember, if you are in need, if you are ever in need of intelligent and cogent sports analysis, just listen to the sound. We will always have you covered. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you being here. Have a good rest of your day. Stay safe.
Listen to the sound. I listen to the sound.